Hi, this is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and today I want to talk about whether the U.S. is going to go bankrupt. I've been getting a lot of questions about this from you guys. If you are worried about this, worried about the bear market, or just want to see how I'm trading in these difficult times, be sure to hit that subscribe button. So when we say, can the U.S. go bankrupt or will it go bankrupt, what we're really talking about is whether the U.S. will default on its debt. Now, defaulting on debt means you don't pay back, you stop paying interest on the debt, and you don't pay back the principal, which is the amount that has been borrowed, or some portion of that principal. So let's just back up and define our terms really quickly. I love this U.S. debt clock, which you can see online, and so let's just go through here very basically, so we all know the terms we're talking about. So we have the U.S. government is currently spending about 4.6, call it $4.7 trillion. This is really even before coronavirus hit. It's before a lot of other things are going to happen. But this is the federal budget, about 4.6, 4.7 trillion. Now, where do they get that money to spend? Well, the obvious answer that everyone knows about is they collect taxes. U.S. federal tax revenue right now is approximately 3.4 trillion. So obviously they're collecting 3.4 trillion, they're spending 4.7 trillion, they're not collecting as much as they're spending. So you have to have a way of making up this shortfall. And this is what's called the US federal budget deficit, which right now is about 1.2 trillion, 1.3 trillion. And again, this is before all the extra spending that's coming with coronavirus. Now, how do we make up this deficit, or how does the U.S. government make up for this deficit? If you're spending 4.7 trillion, but you're only bringing in 3.4 trillion, you obviously need to borrow money. This is just like a household or an individual. Now, how does the U.S. government borrow money? The main way is they issue debt. They borrow money using Treasury securities. So these are issued by the United States Department of the Treasury. They basically sell these pieces of paper or digital pieces of paper, and people give them cash in exchange for that. And then the people who are holding these treasuries get a little bit of interest income. Not very much now because interest rates have fallen so much, they're on the way to zero. But this is how this is the main way that the U.S. funds its deficit. It issues debt, and so when we say, will the U.S. go bankrupt, the question is, will it stop paying interest or principal on U.S. Treasury securities? And the answer to that is no. Now, before you think that's good news, what really happens is, and what's been happening for a while, is that we have two different pieces of the government sort of offsetting each other. So the U.S. Treasury issues this debt, collects the cash. But the problem is then there's a lot of debt floating out there. And so what happens then is the U.S. Central Bank, which is also called the Fed or the Federal Reserve, they come in and they buy these treasuries. They are part of the U.S. government as well, but they just come in and buy this debt that's been issued by the Treasury, and they add it to their balance sheet. So if you go here, and I'll provide links to all this in the description notes below, you can see what the assets are that they're holding. And when you buy treasuries, that's counted as an asset. You collect interest income on it, etc. You can see that things really began to spike in the 2008-2009 financial crisis. And then in 2018, they began to sell off what they were holding. The Fed began to sell off what they were holding, and it basically caused a mini stock market crash. And as a result, they needed to start expanding their balance sheet again, buying treasuries. And this is continued in earnest because of the coronavirus. Now, so that's basically the really weird situation we have here, where we're not collecting enough in tax revenue, so we need to issue debt. One part of the U.S. government issues that debt. Another part of the U.S. government buys that debt and holds it. Now, where does the Fed get the money to buy currently the balance sheet is 4.2 trillion. Where do they get $4.2 trillion to buy things with? Well, it's really easy if you're the Fed or you're a central bank, because you just have a little keyboard, you press the button there, and it creates new money. It creates US dollars. And it's basically just money created out of nowhere. And then they can use that, and they can use that to buy the US debt. So the one thing we know, the US will never go bankrupt or never default on its debt because it can just print money to pay people back. Now, if I owe someone money, I can't just create money. It'd be illegal to get a nice laser printer and start printing money. But the Fed can do this. And so the U.S. is never going to go bankrupt. It's never going to default on its debt, simply because it can always print new dollar bills. And again, these are mostly digital dollar bills. But it can print new U.S. dollars to pay everyone back. Now, it can also print new money to just send people checks in the mail. So if you're a U.S. citizen, in the coming weeks, you're going to get 2 $1,000 checks from the government. I think kids might even get $500. I haven't paid attention to the complete details. Where's the U.S. government getting this money from? Well, they're just printing more money, or they're borrowing more money. Maybe they issue some more treasuries, collect the cash, send it to me and my family, and then the Fed can just buy more of those treasuries and take them off the market. Now, in addition to sending free money to Americans, and this is, I can't even believe I'm saying this, is totally crazy. Trump is now saying that the government's going to start bailing out companies, which you'd expect, and doing this by taking an equity stake, which means basically buying stock in the company or buying equity. Again, the U.S. government is just going to print money to do this. And they're going to do this to bail out companies that spent all of their cash, their free cash flow, on stock buybacks to keep the stock price high and enrich senior executives who had stock options. Boeing was a great example of this. They spent billions and billions of dollars on stock buybacks. Now they don't have any money in the bank. There's a crisis. And so they may get a bailout, which is obviously good for the people who work there. But there's something really messed up about these incentives. Now, I should have defined this. When the Fed prints money to buy treasuries or to buy mortgage backs or to buy anything, even to buy shares of companies like Boeing or whatever, it's called quantitative easing. And they use this word quantitative easing simply because they don't want to say money printing, because then everyone will understand what they're doing and be like, this is crazy. But if you say quantitative easing, sounds very scientific. Obviously, smart economists are working on this, but it's absolutely crazy. And the problem with printing money is if I have $100 in my pocket and the government prints some more US dollars, it is basically picking my pocket, is taking money out of my pocket by devaluing the value of those dollars. The more dollars you print, the less value they have. Like anything else. If you issue a few Beanie Babies or a few baseball trading cards, they have some value, or rare cars or whatever. But if you issue a ton of them, if you just start printing baseball cards, all of a sudden they don't have as much value. And it's a similar principle. But not only is the Fed doing this, all of the world's central banks are doing this now. The ECB, the European Central Bank, the Bank of Japan, Europe just, Lagarde in Europe just pledged that there can be no limits. They're just going to print. So we live in very, very crazy times. And eventually, either eventually or quickly, this is going to come home to roost. The U.S. currency is going to be devalued by all of this, which means things like gold are going to go up. Things like stocks will probably go up. And things like Bitcoin will go up. Bitcoin will go up more than anything because it has a fixed supply. It's not, you can't make any more Bitcoin. Most of the Bitcoin that's ever going to exist has been mined. And so as a result, the market is finally catching up to this. Bitcoin is up an enormous amount today, like 12, 13, 14%. It's still down on the year, but it's catching up to where it was at the end of 2019. This is another sort of backdoor reason I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. There's some other reasons. The miner reward is going to be cut in half. We're having this halving in May of 2020. So it's a very, very interesting time for Bitcoin and for this bear market and this financial crisis. If you want to learn more about how to trade a bear market and some of these strategies, my book is currently free on Amazon. It's free today if you just click the link in the description notes below. Please hit that subscribe button if you found this helpful. Hit the like button and let me know your questions in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.